See, don't pour out your frustration on me, Ifeoma, her sister said. I'm not the cause of your bad luck. Egodi was shocked. What did you just say to me, Ifeoma? Am I lying? Please, don't affect me with your childlessness. Even ordinary chickens can produce quality children. How much more a complete human being? I wonder who she even resembles, because we are not like this in our family. Everywhere fell silent. It was as if they had poured cold water on Egodi's body. Egodi was a very beautiful woman, always full of smiles, cheerful. She had a warm heart and had so much love to give to everyone who knew her and found themselves around her. But deep down, Egodi was truly not happy. Her life was quite complicated, a pleasant blend of both joy and sorrow. Joy, because she was married to the best husband a woman could ask for. His name was Chima. Chima was patient, loving, caring. He loved his wife so much. In fact, he adored her and would do anything for her as long as it made her happy. But there was sorrow, because this beautiful union had nothing physical to show for it. Egodi and Chima had been married for over 10 years, and in all those years, their marriage bore no fruit, just as the society expected. It was not that Egodi was barren or as if Chima was impotent. Far from it. The couple had been confirmed healthy, but from some unknown reason, the child came but refused to stay. Shortly after their marriage, Egodi became pregnant. Just as new expectant parents, they were so happy, bought plenty beautiful and expensive baby items in preparation. But unfortunately, they lost the pregnancy just before it reached 5 months. It was so painful for the young couple, but they believed that another would come, and hopefully it would stay. A few months later, another one did come. This one stayed for up to 7 months, but she went into preterm labor. It was an emergency, and the doctors had to perform an emergency cesarean section. But still, the baby did not make it. Egodi was beyond heartbroken. You know that moment when you feel pain, yet you cannot find the reason for the pain. You feel the reality of what you have lost. Egodi cried so much, but Chima did not let her sink into despair. He was there for her every single step of the way and helped her to heal, even though he was also hurting. Because of the things Egodi had gone through, Chima insisted that they took a break on trying for a child, and they did for 2 years. After 2 years, Egodi got pregnant again. This time, the doctors placed her on compulsory bed rest, diets, and medications. But again, 7 months later, Egodi went into labor. Another emergency cesarean section. Another stillbirth. This time, the couple was more heartbroken than ever before. Egodi was inconsolable. Chima too was grieving, not just for his lost child, but for the pain his wife was going through. Chima vowed silently that never again would he let his wife go through this kind of pain. It took years for Egodi to recover, but even then, those years were the toughest she had ever faced. She faced different levels of ridicule. Her husband's family called her a witch. They insisted that she was responsible for her misfortune. They called her all sorts of names. And when Chima stood up to them, they lashed out even more. They called him a woman rapper. She has locked him with a spiritual padlock, they said. But Chima paid them no mind. He was determined to protect his wife at all costs. And he did, at least from his own family. He could not protect her from hers. Her family ridiculed her mercilessly. All her sisters were married and had their own children, except for her. One time, she went home for a family function and had a heated argument with her younger sister, Ifeoma. What should have been an ordinary siblings fight turned into something else entirely. Her sister told her to her face that she was bitter because she was barren. "See, don't pour out your frustration on me," Ifeoma, her sister, said. "I'm not the cause of your bad luck." Ekodi was shocked. "What did you just say to me, Ifeoma?" she asked, unable to believe she had heard correctly. But then Ifeoma said it again. "Am I lying? Please, don't affect me with your childlessness. Even ordinary chickens can produce quality children. How much more a complete human being? I wonder who she even resembles, because we are not like this in our family." Everywhere fell silent. It was as if they had poured cold water on Egodi's body. Her sister's words were painful. But what even hurt the most was that no one said anything to caution Ifeoma. She could even see Anwule giggling from behind. Even her mother said nothing. She knew that her sisters envied her because she was loved so much by their late father. She was the apple of his eyes, and she was also the first to get married and even landed a husband far wealthier than any of theirs. It was as if all the good things happened to her. But still, she never imagined that things would go this far. She left her late father's house that day, feeling so empty, sad, and alone. Their mockery felt even more painful than anything that had been dished out to her. From that day, she distanced herself away from them. All she had left was Chima. He was her backbone, her strength. He was all that kept her going. Years passed, and Egodi decided to brave the storm. She decided to get pregnant again. Chima refused blatantly. "Never, Ego. Never. I will not let you go through all of that again." "But Chima, we cannot stop trying. You and I know that we need this child. Your family is on my case day and night. I have to do something," she pleaded. But Chima was adamant. "No, Ego. I don't care what my family thinks. Yes, I want a child, but not in exchange for you. I have endured the loss of 3 children, Ego, but I cannot endure it if something happens to you. My world ends with you, Ego." Ego was moved. "Nothing will happen to me, my love. We have God on our side, and He will not let anything to happen to me. Please, let us try again, just one more time." Chima finally gave in, but then no pregnancy was forthcoming. They tried for months. Nothing happened. Months turned into a year. Then a year turned into 2. Yet, nothing. The couple prayed and fasted, went from one prayer house to the other to seek solutions. Yet, nothing changed. Ekodi became so sad, nearly depressed. She avoided arguments with people because they would always throw her childlessness in her face at any given opportunity. She went from the ever cheerful and happy soul to a quiet, brooding woman. After the second year, Egodi gave up trying. She decided that it was impossible for her to birth her own child. She made a tough decision. She would encourage her husband to marry another woman, just as his mother had been insisting on. Chima did not buy that idea one bit. Never, he said. What are you saying, Ego? That I should marry another woman? Why? Chima, you need to understand that it is impossible for me to have children. Your mother is right. The only way to go about this thing is to marry another woman who can bear children for you. Chima laughed. You amaze me, Ego. That thing is outdated now. So, what happened to adoption? There are 1,000,001 children waiting to be loved and cared for. We can adopt as many as we want. Ego bursted into laughter. Adoption, kwa? Hey, do you want your people to finish the small life that I'm managing? You know how our society feels about these things. Even the child we adopt cannot know peace because people will not stop talking. And your family, they will never accept. It is really already bad enough that they are convinced that I was sent to destroy your life. But even at that, I don't want to deprive you of the joys of fathering your own child. Not when you are fully capable of fathering a child. Please, Chima, do this for me. Chima shook his head. Ego, if this is about my mother, I can handle her. No, Ego interrupted. I'm sure about this. Your mother has not been easy to deal with. But this time, I agree that her suggestion is the best option we have right now. Chima could see that Egodi was determined, and so he reluctantly gave in. His mother was beyond excited when he called to inform her that he was now willing to take a new wife. He could literally hear her singing and dancing at the other end of the phone. Hey, my son, now you are talking. I'm glad that the skill that evil woman you call a wife used to bewitch you has finally fallen off. A strong man like you cannot be behaving like an overdone cocoyam. Mama, Chima interrupted. Eko did not bewitch me, and this was actually her idea. Mama Chima said, Chima, it is because you are not spiritual. If you know the battle I have been fighting for you, you will thank me. I have used my spiritual eyes to look at that girl, and in the spirit world, she is from the marine kingdom. In fact, she has a spiritual husband and children. Mama, please. Okay. Oh yeah, sorry. Don't worry, I have already seen a fine girl for you. If you see her, you will love her. And in their family, they have plenty boys left and right and center. Very fertile. Chima ended the conversation as soon as he could, but he was restless. Something inside him told him that this was not going to end well. But deep down, he could not deny the fact that he was also badly in need of a child. And so he conditioned his mind for the change that was about to happen. After all, what is the worst that will come out of it? Exactly 1 week later, Mama Chima arrived with his new wife, a young, beautiful lady. Egodi welcomed them warmly with her charming smile, but Mama Chima ignored her completely, like she did not exist. She faced her son instead. Nnam, this is a strong girl I have chosen for you, the one that will be capable of carrying a child like every normal woman and bringing her out normally. Her name is Chioma. Chima looked at his Egodi. He could see the hurt in her eyes, but he could also see the plea for him to remain quiet. And so he did. Egodi welcomed Chioma into their new home and took her to the room beside the one she shared with Chima. "This will be your own room, Chioma, but don't worry, our husband will spend as much time with you as you deserve. If you ever need anything, don't hesitate to let me know." Chioma nodded obediently with a smile on her face. But Mama Chima was not pleased. "Egodi, what do you mean? Chioma will not stay in that room. No, you will carry your belongings and shift. Let fresh breeze blow in this house. How can a cockerel place itself above a layer?" "Enough," Chima interrupted. "Mama, stop it. If you are here to cause trouble in my home, please leave. Egodi is my wife, and nothing can take away the love I have for her. That room is our room, a place that has held so much memories for the both of us, and I'm not about to throw it out just because you said so." Mama Choma laughed mockingly. Hey. Osino memories. Memories that cannot cook beans. Talk more of producing a strong child. Memories my foot. Well, me, I will go back to the village tomorrow since you want me to leave, but very soon you will see that I'm always right. Mama Chima left the next day as planned. No one stopped her. A new chapter had opened for Chima and his new family. Chima was indeed a very lovable girl. She was respectful and humble. She and Egodi existed happily. She knew her position in the family and acted accordingly, did as she was told. Egodi treated her with love and care, just as she would her younger sister. The women cooked together, went to the market together, washed clothes together, did virtually everything together. And in the evenings, they all sat to eat their dinner as one happy family and chatted happily. And then, a month later, Chioma became pregnant. The small family was filled with joy. As soon as Egodi discovered that the younger woman was pregnant, she made sure that Chioma stopped partaking in every house chore. She insisted that she would not even cook or lift a finger. Henceforth, she said to Chioma, "Tell me whatever it is that you want, and I will make sure that you have it. I don't want you to stress yourself, Just relax." Egodi ensured that Chioma had everything and anything she asked for. She washed her clothes, and even when Chima insisted that she was doing too much, Egodi did not want to hear of it. "Chima, we need to make sure that nothing goes wrong. We must be very careful." I understand," Chima argued. "She's only pregnant now, she's not sick. I don't want you to overwork yourself." Egodi smiled. "I know you are worried about me, but I'm fine. Chioma is still young and inexperienced. Let me take care of her. If she were my sister, I would do the same. Besides, she's a very nice girl, and this baby is for all of us at the end of the day." Chima did not argue anymore. If anything at all, he was glad that his house had not turned into a battleground like he feared. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months, and Chioma's pregnancy continued to progress. One day, something miraculous happened. Egodi became pregnant again after almost 3 years. Chima was over the moon with joy, and despite the number of disappointments they had faced, somehow they were both filled with hope. Chima too rejoiced with them. She knew the things they had been through, and the months she had spent with them showed her how kind and selfless her senior wife was. Deep in her heart, she prayed that the child would stay. 4 months later, Chioma gave birth to a baby girl, whom they named Amara Chukwu, a name which means God's unmerited favor. Amara brought unspeakable joy into their home. Chima could not stop dancing. His eyes filled with tears as he held his child in his arms for the first time. Even Egodi could not stop jubilating. Mama Chima threw a party in the village. Finally, her son now had a child. In all of this, no one but Chima paid attention to Egodi and her pregnancy. They all expected it to be as usual. All the attention was shifted to Chioma. Egodi had no experience how to care for a new mother and child, and so Chioma's mother had to come over for Omugo, a practice of caregiving that was common amongst the Igbos. Chioma's mother was nothing like her daughter. She had a sharp tongue and the wicked eyes that made people feel uncomfortable, especially Egodi. She never let Egodi near the baby, talk less of holding the child. Chioma was not happy about this. Why are you doing this, Mama? Egodi is a very nice woman and she has been taking good care of me. Ta! Shut up, her mother scolded. What do you know? I know what she is trying to do. She will just steal away your child and you will be here shining your eyes and nodding like an overfed lizard. Mama, that's not possible. Egodi is pregnant again and this time I pray that it stays. She deserves to be truly happy. Hey, Chioma, you are a big, mature Gambia goat. Ewu, are you sure that I am your mother? Because I wonder how this your brain works. That is why you continued failing all your exams and ended up not going to school. You want her to be happy, my fruit. See, let me tell you. You just had a baby girl. Your feet are not yet firm in this house. If she mistakenly succeeds with this pregnancy and has a boy, your own is finished. Mama, it's not true. We are living happily here and Egodi is not like that. The important thing is that our husband takes good care of all of us. And besides, Egodi is like a big sister to me. Mama Chioma laughed. Okay, when it happens, your eyes will open. Mama Chioma went back to the village after 2 months and things went back to normal. Except for one thing. Egodi's pregnancy was already 6 months gone. It was nearing the month the complications usually started. Chima made sure that he was always available to care for her. He made sure that she did not as much as lift a finger. For all the house chores, he took care of everything. He prepared special foods for her and was at her beck and call. Chioma started feeling left behind. No one was paying attention to her. All Chima could think about was Egodi. He did not care for me like this when I was pregnant though, she thought to herself. Her mother's words started playing in her head. What if Mama was right? What if she gives birth and he totally abandons me? What will I do now? This thought worried Chioma for days, and when she could no longer bear the thought of it, she called her mother. Mama Chioma was not surprised. Did I not tell you? You were acting like I was evil. Now see, if she has that child, there will be no place for you in that house. You need to stand your ground and fight, unless you will sit inside water and soap will enter your eyes. Chioma started panicking. So Mama, what should I do now? Now you are asking the right questions. That baby has to go. Mama, Chioma exclaimed, her eyes wide open. Ta, shut up. That is why you don't know book. You are not smart. The baby has to go. But leave that to me. If the pregnancy survives, then I will handle it. Just trust your mother. They call me Iron Lady for a reason. Chioma was not sure about how she felt with her mother's plan, but now she was desperate. Days turned into weeks, and again weeks turned into months. For the first time, Egodi's pregnancy stayed to the surprise of everyone. On the 9th month, just like every normal woman, Egodi went into labor. Chima could not stop praying all through. He prayed for the safety of his wife and the baby. This time, God was with them. The labor did not last for a long time. In less than 3 hours, Egodi was delivered of a bouncing baby boy. Everyone who knew them went wild with joy, including the entire hospital staff, for they all knew how hard it had been for Egodi and Chima. Mama Chima, the mouth that had spoken evil of Egodi, sang her praises. Egodi's mother danced around proudly. Now I know that you are a true daughter of your mother, she said shamelessly. And Chima, he nearly ran mad with joy. He named his son Chizaramekbere, meaning God answered my prayers. When they came home, visitors kept flooding in and out. Their joy was too much to contain. Food and drinks were in surplus. Everyone was happy except Chioma. Chioma was filled with bitterness as she watched how everyone was in awe of Egodi and her son. No one noticed her existence. It was further proof that her mother was right. To make matters worse, Egodi had a son and she had a daughter. She knew she had to do as her mother suggested. The baby had to go. Chioma started plotting with her mother to eliminate little Chizaram. Their plan was to poison him in order to avoid suspicion. Fortunately for them, things seemed to be working in their favor. Egodi's breasts refused to produce enough milk for the baby in the first few days, and so Chizaram was feeding on infant formula. It was the best time to strike. Exactly 5 days after he was born, the perfect opportunity presented itself on a platter of gold. Egodi's mother had just finished making the baby's formula, and because she was still busy, she sent Chioma to deliver the bottle to Egodi. Chioma happily took the bottle, and on her way, she made a quick stop at her room and laced the bottle of milk with a liquid insecticide, popularly known as Otapiapia, and then delivered the bottle to the unsuspecting Egodi. She returned to the kitchen as soon as she delivered the bottle, but she had no idea that her plans were about to backfire. Egodi tried to feed Chizaram, but the boy was already fast asleep. She did all she could to get him to wake up, but he refused to open his little eyes. Just then, little Amara, who was asleep, crawled into the open doors of the room. Egodi signaled for her to come closer with a smile on her face, and the little girl went happily. Instead of letting the bottle of milk go to waste, Egodi offered it to Amara, and Amara gulped it down happily. It was not up to 5 seconds later, Amara started screaming in pain. She started vomiting what looked like blood. Egodi's eyes went wide with shock. She started screaming for help, and immediately Chima, who was downstairs, Chioma and Mama Egodi came running upstairs. Chioma screamed when she saw her daughter. She knew immediately. Jesus! Amara! How did she drink it? Everyone turned to face her. How did she drink what? Chima asked. Chioma fell to the ground and started screaming. Chima was still confused, but first things first, he picked his daughter and rushed her to a hospital immediately. It was an emergency, and so the doctors set to work immediately. They worked tirelessly for hours, and luckily for them, Amara survived, but still had to be hospitalized. The doctor informed Chima that Amara had been poisoned. Chima was shocked. Poisoned? How? I don't know, the doctor answered, but I am 100% certain that she ate or drank something that was poisoned. Chima was speechless at first. Then he remembered Chioma's words. It now made sense to him. He marched home angrily. Where is she? Chioma! He screamed as he stormed into the house. Chioma was still crying profusely when he found her in her room. She fell to her knees when she saw him. I'm sorry, my husband. I'm sorry. My mother made me do it. What exactly did you do? Chima fumed. Chioma, still crying profusely, confessed all that she and her mother had planned. I was just trying to fight for my rights. So I put Otapiapia in his bottle. Please forgive me, she cried. Chima was stunned. Egodi's eyes filled with tears. You put Otapiapia, insecticide, inside my baby's food. How could you be so wicked, Chioma? After all I've done for you was to show you love and care. This is how you repay me? You tried to kill my child? Chioma could only shed tears of regret. Finally, Chima spoke. You are lucky that Amara survived this. If not, you would have joined her by now. I am going back to the hospital now. When I return, I don't want to see you or anything that looks like you in this house, or else. He left the rest unsaid as he stormed out once more. Ah, my husband, where will I go? She cried. She turned to Egodi. Please, you are like a sister to me. Help me beg our husband. It was a mistake. Egodi shook her head. He was still in shock. No, Chioma. This was no mistake. You let evil take over your heart. Amara could have died. Or even Chizaram, the child I struggled to get after years of pain. And you knew. What you have done is unforgivable, she said as she left the room. Once alone, Chioma cried so hard. She could not even forgive herself for what she had done. She could not believe that she had nearly lost her own child because of envy. Thoughts kept flooding her mind. Where will I go from here now? She could not return to the village. People would not just make mockery of her. She would be treated like an outcast. Her life could never remain the same anymore. She thought about running away. But where would she run to? Besides, she did not even have enough money. Ah, Chioma, she cried. You are truly finished. Chioma could not bring herself to face the shame that awaited her. She thought it was best to end it all. She brought out the leftover bottle of hot tapiapia and poured the entire contents into her mouth. It was Chima who found her lying on the ground, when he returned from the hospital later that night, the empty bottle was there right beside her. He screamed as he rushed to pick her up, but it was too late. She was already ice cold. Ekodi ran into the room when she heard her husband scream. The sight before her was a heartbreaking one. She fell to the ground and wept. She wept for the young life that was cut short. In all that happened, one thing was clear. Her mother was the original perpetrator of this evil. Very early the next morning, Chima called an ambulance, and Chioma's body was transported to her father's compound in the village. It was evening by the time they reached. Mama Chioma was peeling vegetables when the ambulance arrived, trailed by curious villagers. The moment the ambulance stopped and Chima stepped out, his eyes red, Mama Chioma jumped up from her seat. Her heart skipped 1,000 beats. Then the coffin was brought out. She already knew it was her daughter in there. Mama Chioma screamed at the top of her voice. "Is that my Chioma? Is that my child in that container?" She was already at the verge of losing her mind. The men dropped the coffin in front of her as Chima stood there before her. "Yes, that is your daughter in that coffin. Her blood is on your hand. Chima was such a good girl, but you infected her with your evil mind. You made her try to poison my son, but God was not asleep. Amara took it instead." Mama Chioma gasped, Jesus! Jesus! My own Amara!" Chima shook his head. "How evil can a person be? You want nothing to harm your own, but you can harm another person's own." Well, Amara survived to the glory of God, but your child did not. She took her own life, and it is all your fault. I have returned her to you. I hope you are happy now." Mama Chioma screamed and threw herself to the ground. The villagers who had gathered watched with shock. Even Mama Chioma was there. They shook their head in disbelief, and one by one they all dispersed. Chima left the village with the ambulance and returned to the city with a heavy heart. As for Mama Chioma, she never recovered from that incident. She walked round the village, always talking to herself. People believed that she had lost her mind, and no one pitied her. In fact, the villagers all avoided her, and her other children abandoned her. She lived the rest of her life wallowing in pain, sorrow, and loneliness. One day, she slept and did not wake up. And you know the worst part? No one even noticed. Hey lovers, thank you for listening to this story. If you are new here, welcome to our community. I hope you enjoyed listening to this story as much as I enjoyed creating it. If you have not done so already, please hit the subscribe button, and to support the growth of our community, give this video a big thumbs up. If you know someone who would enjoy a story like this, do not hesitate to share. Don't forget to leave a comment down below. Remember, like, share, drop a comment, and subscribe. I'll take my leave now, but I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.